I'm making jelly made with juice. And I reckon we'll get started. Measure out 4 cups of juice. Has to be 100% juice. Does not matter the brand, it does not matter the kind, but it does have to be 100% juice. Measure out 4 cups. Put it on the stove. Put mine at medium high. It's almost to high, almost into the red right there. And then I use the Ball low sugar jam. Now the reason I love this is because we go through a lot of jam in our house. I have 5 children and we use a lot of jam. And I started doing the juice jam because of the high fructose corn syrup and store jam, and I wasn't about to pay the price for the natural jam. 3 of these, 3 tablespoons of this pectin. And the reason that I love this is because it's low or no sugar needed jam. And so you cut back. A regular pectin takes 7 cups of jam. And with this, you only need, well actually you don't need any, but you get away, I get away with 2.5 cups. That's what my kids like. But you could actually use none at all. So now we've got the juice and we've got the pectin going, and now we wait for it to boil. It will boil twice, and this will be the first boil that's going to activate the pectin. It doesn't have to be stirred constantly, just every once in a while until it does start to boil. Okay, it's not quite boiling yet. It's not quite to that first boil yet, but I did want to show that I am sanitizing my jars and my lids. The rings, they don't need to be sanitized. They're going to be for the outside. But I've got them boiling, and I've got my sugar ready. I'm going to put in 2.5 cups for this batch. Give it another stir. And I apologize, I didn't realize that I misspoke earlier, but with the pectin, it's the low or no sugar needed pectin, and so you actually don't need any sugar, but I use about 2.5 cups. You can do it to taste. You can start out with none and make a batch and see how you like that. Actually, what I did, I have made wine jelly before, and while it's great, it's a great bread and jam, it's not good for peanut butter and jelly. And what I did with that was I added 1 cup and then brought it, after it dissolved good, before it got to that second boil, then I took a little bit out and let it cool and tasted it, and just kind of kept doing that until it got to the right sweetness for me. It has just started its first boil. Now you want to make sure that it is a rolling boil, one that does not go away when it's stirred, and this is. So I'll go over here to my stopwatch and get it started for 60 seconds. And this activates the pectin. And with this, you need to stir it constantly. That's so that the temperature is even throughout the juice. Alright, so now it's time to add the sugar. And I usually like to stir as I'm pouring, but I only have 2 hands. So we'll just add it all quickly and then get back to stirring. 2.5. There we go. All right, once that's stirred in really good and completely dissolved, then we let it come to its second boil. It's not going to take as long to come to the second boil as it did to the first because it already hit that point once. And it's just got to come back up to that same temperature after the sugar was added. Alright, that's put in there really good. Let's see. Oh, I did want to mention with the juice. I have made the juice from bottled juice, from the bottle, but I've also used the frozen concentrate, and both work equally as well. I just recommend doing a price comparison. I mean, sometimes you can get the bigger bottles at Walmart or Sam's or Costco, you know, depending on how much you're going to make. And sometimes doing the concentrate is a better way to go. Just make sure that it does say 100% juice, because the frozen concentrates, there aren't very many that there are just like 5% juice and the rest is high fructose corn syrup. Not really, but it's not gonna work. Okay, it looks like it is thinking about it. Make sure that's a true boil here. Let me stir it all up and scrape the bottom real good. The sides. Now, I've tried other pectins and other recipes. It was pretty much searching online and trial and error that I found. I was making strawberry fig preserves for years, and it never really gelled, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. We still ate it. It was still fine, but it never really was the right consistency for me until I started doing this, and now it sets perfectly every time. Okay, it looks like that is going to be it. All right. No, not quite. Anyway, what I read online in a blog is that not all pectins are equal. So what I'm doing here, if you're using a different brand or liquid or, you know, Certo or whatever, it may not gel. It may not do this same recipe, may not work for you. So I only recommend using the Ball low sugar kneaded jam, which you can get any grocery store. You can get Kroger, Walmart, anything like that. I have found that Amazon is the best resource for me because I buy it in the 4-pack. Alright, that is what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so come over here, set my stopwatch. Another 60 seconds. Let's see, what am I on? 23 seconds. I love the song. I don't know if you can hear it.
I need a spoon though.
Just a minute, buddy.
I found that outside me, it needs to be inside.
Okay, just a minute, sweetie.
Is it normal?
Okay. And that is it. So now, Elijah. Alright, so the last thing I did, turn off. Give it another stir. Take it from the heat. That was my littlest. He's 3. Tried to send everybody outside this Saturday. Okay. There we are. Now, done with that. And now next comes putting it in the jars. So now I take my trusty little tongs here, nothing fancy. I don't have one of those canning kits. I do have this. I inherited that. And a regular old serving spoon. Now, this has got just a little bit of foam forming. Grab a bowl. And you want to skim off the top, the foam that gathers on top just as it solidifies. I've heard that it won't seal properly with the foam on top. I don't know. Sometimes I don't even have foam. But once in a while there is. Go ahead and skim that off. And my kids love this because then, you know, this cools down the fastest and they go ahead and can have a piece of peanut butter and jelly toast with the freshly made jam. So don't throw it away. It eats just as good as the other. Okay. So now we just scoop it up. Okay, so got them all canned up and put the lids on good. And now I've got them in a water bath. I don't have anything, I don't have a real tall, fancy one. I guess I need to do one since I do so much. But this works for us, and it's supposed to have it covered, but it's just barely. The taller one will eat. I'm not worried about it. But you're supposed to, as a disclaimer, you're supposed to do the water bath for, I believe, 10 minutes. Just to make sure that it seals good. I have actually never had a problem with them sealing, even having forgotten to do the water bath. But I don't want anybody to fuss at me. So I'm just going to say that this is what you should do. And then once it's done, it'll be like this beautiful jar. And you can experiment with different juices. My family prefers the grape, but I found this at the store, so I was really excited to try it. The white grape cherry was, I tried some earlier. It was really good. You can do apple, you can do anything that's 100% juice. So get out there and experiment and do a little bit of like our great-great-grandmas used to, and forget the store-bought and do it yourself. So, thank you for watching. Is it good, buddy?